So, how about that, huh? Double hookup. Okay, so I'm gonna try to give an example of filleting a fish. I'm not the best filleter, but here's what we'll do. We're gonna cut along the fin up here, and this is just to kind of give a guide when I actually do the fillet. You don't have to do this, but it helps. Then split them up the middle. And then the meat goes up to here. So you want to try to get the meat here. And then these are ribs and stuff, so I don't use this anyway, so I just kind of cut it on down and just cut this part out. But this is kind of important that you get the meat here. Okay. Then I need to get underneath here. Try to get as much of this meat as I can. And then I'm going to cut with this knife right along that slice I made. Now this is kind of a big fish, so I got to get through these ribs. And that's the hardest part of the fillet. And then once you get through the ribs right here, then you want to try to get the knife as close to the backbone as possible and get all that meat. And if you don't, then you waste a lot. And then you cut right down to the tail, just to the edge there. And then you flip it over. Now you see I wanted to get close to that backbone, and I did a pretty good job there. So now this kind of the tricky part. This is probably the hardest part of the fillet, is you got to cut here in the meat, and you want the knife to get flush against the skin here without cutting through the skin. And you want to get right up against the skin so you don't leave any meat there. Like right there is real good. The hard part is continuing that all the way through the fillet at this point, because it's got to be like one smooth motion. So you just angle the knife just a little bit towards the skin, but not so much that you cut through it. Now I don't care about this because I don't want these ribs anyway. I'm going to cut that off, so I'm not worried about this, but I want all this meat here. You see how it's right up against the skin, so I'm doing a decent job. Oops. You didn't see that. That didn't happen. Okay, so that's good. So we got all that meat. Now here's those ribs. Okay, I'm just going to cut this out. Sometimes I'll cook it and then you can just pull those ribs, they'll just fall right out, but some people get upset when they see bones in their fish, like as though fish aren't supposed to have bones or something. And then that's what you're left with. And then you just flip them over and do the other side. Okay,